You are watching Travel World Online.
The ease of travel has happened. The fear has gone down. So there is the stigma of we should not travel has gone down, and the whole what they call I don't want to use the word, but everybody is calling the revenge travel. That everybody wants to travel now. Yes, of course, people have saved money. One, they need to spend. Second is travel has always been a necessity. If you remember years ago, we had done in India a research where the second highest social desire after buying a house was to travel abroad, and it became more of a necessity with the tough lives that we have. People want to spend family time, they want to spend time with their children, and they need the break because you are like working 24/7 sometimes, and then you need that break. So instead of the longer breaks, people have started taking more shorter breaks. So I think what I've seen, if you look at the flight that we flew into KL, or KL to the city Kuching, it was full. People are traveling now, and if you look at airlines are facing what you call crunch in terms of the people that they had let go to get them back, and to train new people. So if you look at the airline industry is booming. I think the travel industry, especially if you look at car rentals and hotels. If you go to Turkey, it's doing extremely well. Look at Dubai. It's almost sold out for the month of October, November, December. So I think that shows it. So the proof of the pudding is the eating. You see, suddenly everyone is traveling, and of course, you're paying a higher airfare. So that's one thing that we need to keep in mind. But people are ready to go that extra mile and travel. Indian travelers are broken down by what you call segment, category, and also by region. So, and then there are some who have families and children who have to be, doing the holidays based on the children's schools and all that. So when you look at Indian travel, it's very vast. But what I would say is the change is that yes, they have started booking early because they know about the school holidays of the children, and they want to book early, mostly to destinations where they feel they will have a capacity crunch, or they'll be paying a higher amount later on. So where there's a capacity crunch, in like if you're going to Kenya for safari, huge crunch this year. You would not get a single what you call camp with a tent available. So people have booking for 2 and 3 years in advance. If you're going to places where if you want a particular hotel, or if you want a particular resort, those resorts where you want to go, people have realized that if they go last minute, they're not going to get a discount, but they're going to pay 3 times the price. So people have started booking, from what I see, much in advance. And that's what we see also in terms of people coming for the visas much in advance. So I think, yes, it was a very late booking pattern. But people have realized that if you book early, you are advantageous at the same time and stress-free. Otherwise, you're paying a higher fare later. I think the travel agent's role does not end. Online is one thing, okay, if you are booking 2 nights hotels, but when you're looking at an itinerary with a family, you want to sit across somebody, you want to hold somebody responsible, you want to call somebody. So I think, the travel agents the niche travel agents with their clientele will always play a role. I still go to a specialist when I'm booking. After being the CEO of Kuoni globally, if I'm going to a destination with my children, I don't want, my family to say, you messed it up, you booked this, you booked that. So I'll say, okay, here's the travel agent, speak to him, decide the itinerary, I'll pay. So, you still want that comfort that you can call somebody who's a specialist, somebody who has been there, who will tell you whether the hotel is good for children, not good for children, how far are you from the airport, what type of, because the current traveler is not only looking at the hotel, but he's looking at what is the location. Location is very important. How far is from the airport? Then he's worried about other nice restaurants around. Is there sightseeing around? Is it safe? Security. So 2 years that when the numbers were down, we did over, I would say, 200 to 300 programs for our staff in terms of skill development. And we wanted to keep people occupied, not only, sitting at home, but working a little bit, but at the same time occupied doing something. So we are a learning and development team. We have a very large team, and we are very focused on that. Did over 200 programs, and not only in customer service or skill improving, but also things like that you would like to do. It could be a program on soft skills, like you want to learn cooking. We even did programs on cooking. We did programs on meditation. We did programs. So everything. So people were occupied, and over 3,000 or 4,000 people used to come in on these online channels. So we spent a lot of money on technology, doing VAYD. That means you don't have to come to the visa center to do your visa. We'll come home. So at your home or your office and do that. And we are today, as we started, we were at the same capacity in terms of human resources and infrastructure, because we could not reduce the infrastructure. We have 3,000 visa application centers in 144 countries. So we could not reduce that, because you can't reduce the infrastructure. So we are still at the capacity of the 32 million applicants that we used to do in 19. So we do 32 million applicants in 19. We are still at the same capacity. We can run 32 million applicants a year, even now. No, what I'm saying is we even with the start, from after COVID, we can still do the same amount what we did pre-COVID. So we are infrastructure and resources wise staff to do the highest level of applicant count that we require.
So has the application count gone up, or when
No,
do
it can't.
anticipate it?
I think we are still around 60% of 19 numbers.
By next year,
Especially on women diversity, and we have signed a pledge in most of the countries for higher women, and we have. I would say today we are over 58% women in VFS. So I'm glad to see so many women in the room. So diversity is a big area that we are looking at, in terms of carbon-free, carbon emissions, and more importantly, when we talk about green, or when we talk about diversity, or when we talk about emissions, we don't just say it, we have KPIs. And when I say KPIs, even if you go to one of the visa centers somewhere in Ethiopia or Nigeria, they will have KPIs still there. So all the 3,000 visa centers will have that. At the end of the year, your bonus, 7.5% of your bonus, is dependent whether ESG KPIs have been met in your branch or no, or you will lose your bonus. So it goes till that level. So we are quite serious about how we take ESG and how we are moving forward. And I think the first goal that we achieved very fast was on the women diversity. So, gentlemen, you need to be sharp now. I think I'll tell you what, you have to focus on your customer. You have to be customer centric. You have to understand the needs, beliefs, and perceptions of your customer. You know where to look for them, how to attract them, and how to keep them. So it's very simple mantra. Focus on the customer. Okay, where does he stay? What does he eat? What does he drink? You need to understand him first. Where is he situated? How do you locate him? How do you attract him? And how do you keep him? So I think, and you can't be, I would say, a jack of all trades. You need to be a specialist or something. People are looking for specialists. So you can do everything for everybody, but it may be at average way. But if you do one thing, you're focused on one thing, and if you do that well, I think that will do good. So when I took over as the CEO of Kuoni Group, we had VFS, we had GTS, GTA, a lot of companies. But we decided to focus on VFS, everything. So, where you're the market leader, where you understand, where you have the core competence, where you can add more value, that's where you need to focus on. So it's very difficult to give up a large operation when you have because you say, let us do, because there will be, I have customers here also, I have customers here also. It's difficult to let go. But if you can have the, I would say, guts to do it. So let go of something and make where you are good, sharp, focused, and put all your resources behind that. You will do a great service to your customer and to yourself, to your organization, and to the team that works with. I've got a great team that has worked with me over the last 20 years to build VFS, to be the largest, I would say, one of the early unicorns made in India. You have to be fair when you're doing your margins and all that. You just have to be fair. They should see value in what you're giving, not only in the product, but also in terms of service. Are you giving them a 24/7 service? Because people are looking for that additional service and are ready to pay for it.
You are watching Travel World Online.